And we're live. Welcome to a Bat special of Carbs and Popcorn. Today, it's going to be a more interactive show, so we're going to be taking your calls and talking all things Batman because, well, Justice League just came out, so we're being topical as hell. So today, I want to get right into it and introduce my co-host, Billy Pollihan, one of the biggest DC fans I know. Billy, how you doing?
Hello, doing well. Doing well. As you can see, I am wearing the correct T-shirt there.
Wrong.
Hey, I am, um, I am not apologetic for my love of Superman and all things DC, but I do love Batman. He is my second favorite, and I always love to talk about these guys.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get right into it so we can start getting some callers in. So Billy, tell me, which is your favorite Batman vehicle?
Like in the movies, or just of all time.
Either one.
Like in movies, I'm gonna say the '89 Batmobile, just because it's such a cool looking design. It's jet black, just like the. Yep, there it
There we
is.
are.
I mean, look at those wheels. Got awesome design. Like you could say, why is the engine on the very front of the car? But I
The
say,
turbine, man.
yeah, it is the turbine. To which I say, I don't care. It just looks awesome. And yeah, tell me you wouldn't want to ride in that thing. I mean, I've been a fan of generally most of the Batmobiles, but '89 for me is just takes the cake.
I mean, it seems like an absolute nightmare to drive, but it would in fact be fun to ride in. That as I think my Camaro's nose is long, and I think Mustang noses are long, but that would be just impossible to drive.
I mean, if there's
But
no traffic, then it's awesome.
so was that your first introduction to Batman, or were you a fan before the '89 movie?
Um, I think my introduction was actually the Justice League animated show and and Batman the animated series as well. But yeah, I think it might have been a combination of those two. Kevin Conroy is Batman for me. I was lucky enough to meet him and get his autograph as well. He's an awesome guy. A little scary looking, but he's an awesome dude.
Years of smoking have both made his voice awesome and given him that trademark scary look.
Yes, unfortunately, but he's still really cool. And that was my introduction to Batman, and I got into the Rogues Gallery of villains, probably the greatest Rogues Gallery in DC Comics.
No,
One of
no doubt.
one of the best, like in general, I think. When you really think about it, you can name like probably 10 off the top of your head if you really think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing I always loved about Batman is one of the things that makes him him is the fact that almost every villain in his rogue gallery, they're all incredibly grounded since he's a grounded, powerless character. So they always made the movies more intriguing to me than some others. But getting right into it, my introduction to Batman, I don't remember the '89 one too much because that was also the year I was born. But one of my earliest theater memories was actually this wonderful thing, the
Oh boy.
Batmobile, the Batmobile from Batman Forever. And I know watching it as an adult that Batman Forever is not a great movie,
It's not.
but one, I've always loved Jim Carrey and I still do. And second, when I was a little kid, I was like 5 when this movie came out. And look how cool that Batmobile looks. Got lots of sweet blue neon colors in the engine area, the glowing blue wheels, big black, out just obnoxious design. It was cool. And this was when I was a kid. My dad bought me a model of that car, and since I was way too young to actually help him put it together myself, I would kind of just watch him. put it together, and that a model of that car was sitting on my dresser for years. So there's a special place in my heart for Batman Forever, and since a lot of our callers probably won't be talking about it, I figured I'd get that out of the way early.
Yeah, but you got to mention "Kiss from a Rose." That's one of the good things about that movie, effing seal. And I also love that in that car. Not only do you see that car's rib cage essentially, but the bat symbol is in the wheels. Like, how much of an egomaniac do you have to be to put your own symbol into car wheels? Like, they're not like on the tires or anything. They're in the hubcaps.
You know, it's funny you say that because you realize the Batman symbol is on the Burton Batmobile too,
Oh
right?
no, I agree. It's really weird though.
I mean, it's not as obnoxiously glowing, but you can see it. It's right there in the center caps
Yeah, they're
on
just
your back cap.
those really small uh, bat symbols right there. I also love the animated series Batmobile. If there's a practicality to that, or I found it to be more practical than most Batmobiles. Because let's be honest, Batmobile is a huge car and it's obnoxious looking usually, but it's just awesome. It's got like every single thing that you can think of that you can put in a car. It's kind of like Speed Racer in that respect with the Mach 5. But yeah, I used to have a toy animated series Batmobile, toy Batman, and a toy Joker from Mask of the Phantasm. I would just play that. And a lot of fun imagination ensued of beating the crap out of Joker.
So they did release the animated series Batmobile a while ago as a toy, and I think it was super expensive, and a whole lot of people bought it. I wish I had picked one up.
Yeah. I don't know where it's at now, but I know I had it.
I think I pulled some interesting stats here on both of those. Uh, let's see. So the torque of the Burton Batmobile, it's apparently these things do have stats online because people are weird. It could go 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. So only a little bit faster than my car actually. I kind of wonder. I didn't actually look it up how fast they got it up to in the actual movie, because I know the Tumblr they got it up to 80 and 90 on the set, and a lot of these movie Batmobiles were actually built, so they're functional, even though something like the Batman Forever car got immediately destroyed afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, Tumblr blew up. And um, there is a weird moment in the '89 film where he has a cable that he hooks onto like a lamp so he could do the 180 turn. Mythbusters has proven that is not possible. You can't do that with a car.
Yes, there's a little thing called momentum and
Exactly.
physics.
There's a lot that work against it, but you don't care because it looks awesome.
Absolutely, a lot of them are completely impractical. The the wheels in the Batman Forever car could turn sideways and be able to drive sideways as well. I mean, you could technically get that working, but not at high speeds and not during a turn.
Oh yeah, and it's I'm looking at the chat and B Curry, which B Curry 985, which I'm going to assume is Brad. He's saying, I can't believe the Batman Forever car got made because it looks like a Hot Wheels toy. There's probably a good reason for that. It's probably because the Joel Schumacher ones were made specifically for toys. I mean, Batman Forever especially. But it's still, it's an awesome looking
Yeah,
car.
yeah, absolutely. That was the whole thing after the Burton era. They kind of because they had to deal with McDonald's. The original Burton Batmobile was kind of looks like a toy anyway. So they kind of had to ham it up a little bit more after Batman Returns, naturally.
that movie. There's so much that you could talk about just about that movie in general. I mean, Batman kills people in that movie. I mean, he killed a guy in the '89 version. Nobody seems to care about that. I mean, like, when he's in the clock tower and he bashes the dude in the head with the bell, then he falls down. And technically, he did kill the Joker. I'm just saying, everybody gives crap about like Ben Affleck and all these other Batmans. They have killed before. I mean, Batman did kill Two-Face in Dark Knight, but nobody seems to care about that. I mean, granted, he didn't use machine guns on a Batmobile or a 50 caliber machine guns on a Batmobile, but still, it's kind of weird how that seems to just fly over people's heads.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much as flies over, but I think the movies all intentionally ignored those things and tried to pretend like it didn't happen.
We have our first caller.
All right, and we're going to quickly sync into Cal. Cal, how you doing?
What's going on, everybody? Excited to be here again. Or actually, this is my debut on Cars and Popcorn, but I mean, just talking with you guys.
It is, in fact.
It is.
God, I hope there's no trivia today.
There's not trivia, I promise that, but I do have a really fun game for us to play.
All right, I'm down.
Not trivia, but so what's the random hockey jersey you have on? I know you said you were
today's the Lightning.
Stamkos?
No, Tampa Bay Lightning.
No, it's the name. Is it Stamkos?
Oh no, it's just a no jersey. No name, just the jersey.
Fair enough.
Didn't know you were a hockey fan.
So that's my favorite sport.
No, not you, Cal. I knew that. I meant Tom. I didn't know he was a hockey fan.
Yeah. I don't let him wear his ugly jersey on any of my shows. So
the Black Winners Classic Flyers jersey is fantastic. You need to admit that.
Is that what you were wearing the other day that you took off before the show started?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I blame the show crashing on you wearing that jersey earlier.
Oh yeah.
Talking about Batman now. So my first thing for Batman, this is gonna make me seem really old, but was the Adam West Batman. Like, I used to watch that when I came home from school as a kid, and I think I was about 6 or 7 when the Burton Batman came out, and I saw that in the theater. But my first ever Batman thing was turbines to speed and all that stuff, and they hit that, they had the whatever, the lever above them and the little siren and stuff like that one. And I do have I can bring it up right now. Actually, I don't know if you can see this, but
you got that. Is that the Blu-ray collection of the whole
Oh man.
Yeah, on Black Friday it was like $30 or something, so I got it. Oh, and actually, if you can hear this, I don't know if that's gonna cause any problems with I only played 2 seconds of it, so hopefully no copyright infringement.
Well, if it gets removed, at least we had fun. So
so that was one of the first Batmobiles I saw, and then when I was a kid, I had another toy. So that one, and another one I had. I don't know if you actually have an image of this, but I don't know which Batman it was, but I had a blue Batmobile. It looked just like this one. It was another version of the one that you just showed from the Adam West series, but it was blue, and you pull something, the lights come up with their little bat eyes. And it was a blue one that had the 2 seats next to it. It was a really old Batmobile that I had. It was a Mattel toy or something. I don't know if you can find it, that'll be amazing, and people won't think I'm crazy. But I'm pretty sure it might have ejector seats in it and everything. It was pretty cool.
They had a lot of crazy comic Batmobiles, and I know they had a bunch based on the TV show. So it probably was one of them, I would assume.
Yeah, but it was before it was when I was a kid, so it was before the Burton Batman. So it's between Adam West and Burton, I think. So and I remember watching AMC Classics or whatever that channel is, A&E Classics or something, and they had an older Batman before Batman, Adam West Batman, which is a black and white Batman, and the Batmobile was just a regular car. It was just a car that Alfred drove and Batman sat in the back or something. I don't know if it was that's completely accurate, but it was something like that. I remember seeing that in one of the scenes. There's a black and white Batman. It was cars better than me. It was one of those Volkswagen Beetle cars, but wasn't that though. It definitely wasn't that. It was like those old. You ever played that game LA Noire?
Oh yeah,
it was those cars.
the old school street rods.
They look like a little mini school bus, but they're just a car instead. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a dome top kind of thing. I'm really bad at explaining cars, but that's what it was. And that was the original Batmobile from back in like that black and white series, because I guess they didn't have the production value to make a cool one.
Yeah, I mean, back then, the Batmobile didn't exist. Literally, Batman would call Alfred, and him and Robin would go, like, he was their chauffeur. And, like, oh, cool, I just caught a fly. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Batcave. Literally, the Batcave in that series is just Batman in a desk with, like, bats flying on a string, or bats on a string. It's really cheesy looking. And also, Robin's hair looks like a racer head. It's very strange. But, yeah, the Batmobile has come quite a long way, much like Batman.
What I was gonna say for my favorite Batmobile was actually the Tumbler. You guys mentioned it, but the Tumbler from Dark Knight. That's the second one, right? Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because I really like that it had the bat pod in it. You know how like the bat pod comes out of it? Like you know when he crashes? I don't know if it's a spoiler, but people have probably seen this movie by now, right? When he crashes and he's like turning on, and all of a sudden it pops out when he's chasing the Joker down when the Joker's in the truck. Yeah, that one, and like how one of the wheels can turn to a bat pod, like it's like the little motorcycle that he has. I love that. When that happened in the movie, like everyone cheered. Like that was so crazy that when that happened, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, the bat pod, the bat cycle, that was one of the cooler things. I'll pull that up because of course I have a picture of that.
Oh, I found a picture of the Batmobile I was talking about, by the way. Sorry.
Can you?
I'm gonna message it to you.
You want to share your screen?
I don't know how to do that. I'm just gonna DM it to you right now.
Fair enough. That'll work too.
And there it goes. That's the one I had. That's the first Batmobile toy I had. I'm guessing it's the Adam West Batman or something. I don't know what that is, but that's the one I had.
Yeah.
So if you pull that yellow tab back, the bat eyes go up.
So it's like Herbie with the eyes.
Oh man, this thing is awesome.
You gotta show it to us. And if we're gonna be talking about the Tumbler, I just gotta say it. I'm not a big fan of the Tumbler. I think it's way too bulky. It looks ugly. The Bat Pod, I like the Bat Pod much better than the Tumbler. I just thought it's like you got this thing just crashing buildings. It's like it reminds me of Man of Steel with all the building damage. I mean, not to that degree, but it's just like, oh, okay. There's the Tumbler just destroying everything in its path. That is awesome.
So yeah, so that yellow thing that if you pull that back, the eyes go up, and that's the headlights, and they're bat eyes. And then you see the black switch where Batman's right arm is. If you pull that back, yeah, the battering ram in the front comes out. There's like a battering ram, and that comes out. And I think there's another thing where it might shoot. There's something in the back too. If you press, it shoots like the back comes out, or shoots it has like a little grappling hook thing that comes out in the back. And like you could trap, and like I remember having the toy for it, and like you could like trap criminals behind it. So like a little like grappling thing comes out, and like it's like a cutout of like a little body of a torso, so that you can like trap your criminal behind it and take them to jail or whatever you do with them. So there's a button by Batman's arm, by his right elbow, I guess, in that picture. You couldn't see it. You press it, and that's where the grappling hook in the back comes out. So it was a fun toy. That was like one of the first Batmobiles I had. And then another Batmobile I had was from the animated series, but it was like further on, not the original animated series, but the boxy one. You know how they did a big box, like it was a big box, like a long rectangle? It wasn't that one. It was one after that. They had like a special edition one where it was like more sleek. And if you pull the spoiler back, missiles come out the side, and Bruce, it's like a coupe, right? It's originally a coupe, and when you pull the spoiler back, Bruce Wayne goes to the back, and the Batman figure comes out, and it becomes a Batmobile. I'll try to find the image and send it to I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that, but I had to like specifically search for like random blue Batmobile to look for this one. So I don't know if I'm gonna find that sleek Batmobile car.
Sleek Batmobile car. That might reveal a lot of results.
Sleek Batmobile toy. I mean.
Oh my god.
back in the day. I don't know, but if I could find it, I will send it to you, and then you could probably put. You can put it up. I don't need to be on camera, but you can just show it. They actually have a lot of toys. Holy crap! I didn't expect them to have this many toys.
Oh yes, in the
Yeah, they're a ton.
almost 80-year history of Batman, I would expect nothing less.
So I will give the Tumblr some credit. It's probably one of the shortest Batmobiles. A lot of them are just absurdly long. That one seems a lot more tactical, like you could actually navigate through an actual Gotham City.
So how practical is that thing? Where I forgot which Batman was, but he shot like a grappling hook out of the side of it, and it like was able to make a turn because it like latched on. Is that like practical?
No, that's the '89 Batmobile. That's my favorite, and no, it's not. It's not practical at all. It's not true. You can't do that. As awesome as that would be, you can't do that. I'm pretty sure the weight of the car would also just snap that cable. But
I feel if it's going through momentum, maybe you might be able to turn it that way.
they did it on MythBusters. They proved that it's a bust.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, that part? I thought you were talking about like how they just did a power slide. I wasn't sure if that's the thing you're talking about.
No, they tried to, the scene in the movie is when I think he's driving away from Joker and he has Vicky Vale in the car, and then Batman, to turn a corner faster, he grapples like a street lamp or something, and then he does a 180 turn, and somehow Joker's goons, who are firing in the air randomly for some reason, are in a purple car with a green hood in it, and they're just firing randomly. They crash into like trash cans, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay, so I found the toy. I read the picture.
I actually read an article once, Billy, so I know why some it's more noticeable than others, why they're shooting into the air when you're on a set and you're using firearms, because even when you're dealing with blanks, that can still severely injure people. So you always have to point the gun into the air and away from any other human or item. So while it may look absurd, they have to do it.
I mean, the problem was not just firing in the air; it's just there was a lot of them. I mean, I get that now, but man,
I just felt like I'd point that out. Anyway,
I'm gonna send you the link again, Tom, on your Twitter, and this is the other one I was talking about.
So while I'm pulling that up, Cal, thanks for calling in, and we'll start with our game today, so we can move on to our next caller. So the name of the game is basically like if you've ever seen Buy or Sell, Real or Fake. So I'm going to name a car, a movie tie-in car, and you're going to tell me whether it was a real sold car or I just made that up.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Sorry, what was that? You went out for a second.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
First, I'm pulling up Cal's picture because I just got it.
Joe Davis is saying that he loved the Tumblr as well. So a lot of love for the Tumblr. Kimber says the Burton Batmobile is her favorite. No shocker, she says.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That was it. Yeah. So that Bruce Wayne figure goes into the cockpit, and then you pull that spoiler back, and if you look at the side part, that's where the torpedoes come out, and the Batman's actually in the front of the vehicle. Like he comes out, like as you pull the seat back, he comes out of the bottom of it, and now it's Batman, like a Batmobile. So it's pretty cool.
I think I had a similar Batman figure to that. I don't think it was yellow, but I think it was a gray. But I had basically that same figure.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So Cal and Billy. So we're going to start with something somewhat related to Cal or Cal's pick. So, real or fake? 2005 Lamborghini Murcielago Dark Knight Edition. As you know, he drove him Lamborghini in the Dark Knight.
Am I supposed to answer or he's supposed to answer?
Yes.
I'll say real.
I'll say real.
That is absolutely fake. I made that up.
Oh wow.
This is gonna be a tough game, but it's gonna be fun. It does sound like something they would do.
It definitely sounds like a thing.
It does, because Lamborghini did just make a Pope edition Aventador, so I would not put that past them.
Oh yeah, we got to do an episode on the Pope Mobile, the other mobile that is as famous as Batman.
That would just be me ranting about the Fiat 500.
Everyone in chat, by the way, says real. Got to be real. And then the other Tom had a maniacal laugh.
Oh, other Tom. See, he's other Tom for the day.
It's relative to the show.
He said, "Mwahaha, don't trust me."
Yeah, I could totally see him as dressing up like the Joker or something. It'd be pretty cool.
So Cal, thanks for being our first caller today. So is there anything coming up that you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, so tomorrow we have Aftermath, and I'm sure you're going to be on it because since you're a Brock correspondent, and he is fighting tonight. So tonight's Survivor Series, we're going to be covering Survivor Series. I put another episode of Gamer's Chair, the Gamer Grudge expansion pass. We interviewed Megan Gregory, and then on Friday we'll probably have another Flashpoints. So no encrypted this week because it's Thanksgiving, but on Friday I should try to get another Flashpoints out.
Cool.
All right, thanks, Cal.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. See you later.
See you, buddy. So yeah, go check out his stuff on Odd Shapes channel, and just Cal the Kingslayer on, I think it's Twitter, but I don't know. I could just be spitballing. Anyway, let's talk more Batmobiles because there's a ton. Like, we're only scratching the surface.
Here comes Eric.
Hello. Sorry, let me just adjust my camera here. There we go. That's much better.
So before we move on, Cal forgot to plug his Justice League review on Odd Shape channel. So go ahead and check that out. I did watch that. Pretty much mirrors a lot of what I said about it. So I thought it was a good one.
It mirrors a lot about what I said as well. Most of it.
I mean, like I've said, my mild take, that one scene is pretty much point for point exactly the scene in Age of Ultron.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Age of Ultron. I would have preferred if you replaced Steppenwolf or Age of Ultron from Age of Ultron with Steppenwolf, I might have preferred Age of Ultron a little bit more.
I agree. That would be pretty hilarious.
If you're gonna have useless cannon fodder, at least have the useless cannon fodder be somewhat serious.
Yeah, it's a nice stepping stone.
It's a stepping stone. Haha, I see what you did there.
I will just leave this. It was nice talking to you guys.
As Billy disappears into the grass. So Eric, favorite Batmobile, first introduction to Batman. What you got for us?
So I'm gonna go a little different with my choice because you know me, I always gotta go a little different, and I'm actually gonna go for the Batmobile from Batman Beyond because that thing was amazing. It's like you always had those very classic interior shots where it was all like the red circuitry that was going through, and it was a flying car, so it was awesome because it was the future. It was just so cool. And obviously, you know, I grew up watching cartoons, so my introduction was Batman the Animated Series. No question on that.
Pulling up the
I was about to say
Beyond.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. You continue.
Carry on, Billy.
I'm looking at the 2054 Batmobile, and it looks kind of like, in some respects, to a Star Trek. I feel like Star Trek could totally do this ship in the future. And
here we are.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to see if you can get an interior shot of that because it's also really iconic because it's all black and red and looks really cool.
Yeah, Terry McGinnis had it pretty well.
You know, he's also Terry McGinnis is great because he's also Ron Stoppable and also the older brother from Boy Meets World.
Wait, he's Will Friedle?
Yeah, he's Will Friedle.
Oh yeah, and he's Star-Lord in the Guardians cartoon.
Yeah, dude, Will Friedle's the best.
God. This is going to be topical since both Ron Stoppable and Cyborg said it, but booyah.
Booyah, man. Like that scene made me so light inside, but I'm just like, man, I wish more people were in this theater right now.
Mine was packed. I'm not sure why your theater was.
It was a 1:00 showing at a theater that was already not very populated. So
That probably has something to do with it.
The interior.
Oh,
oh yeah. I mean, look at how awesome that looks.
just a bunch of random lines.
It's like it looks so varied and dynamic, even though it only uses 2 colors. Well, 3 colors. It's got white in there too.
Yeah. He even gets to fit
White.
Ace.
Yeah, Ace is there in the background.
Yeah, so you can transport pets as well. Who knew?
And it flies itself too, which is great. So that helps out a lot. It's just a great Batmobile for a great series.
I actually seen Batman Beyond. That
You
is one of the-
should. That's a yeah. You should definitely go watch Batman Beyond. It's definitely worth a watch. Also, if you haven't seen it, Static Shock doesn't have anything to do with Batman other than the episodes Batman's in, but that's also worth a watch. There's pretty much the entire DC animated universe from Batman the Animated Series all the way to Justice League Unlimited. Just go watch that. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Joe Davis wants a Batman Beyond live movie with Keaton playing old Bruce Wayne. Now.
That would be real cool.
Yeah, and Tom is like, read my thing about the Batcave, and so I will. So here you go, Tom. Other Tom. You can see the original Batmobile and the Batmobile from New Adventures in Batman Beyond's cave. Which I did not know that, but then again, it's been a couple of years since I've seen Batman Beyond. I used to have that Return of the Joker VHS, and I had an alternate Joker death. It was pretty awesome because, like the Return of the Joker, he gets shot with the gun, but in my VHS, like he causes a room to flood. He slips on like some electrical wire and he gets electrocuted to death.
Yeah, it's like I don't really know which one was supposed to be like the friendlier one. I guess the one where Tim Drake doesn't straight up murder the Joker is the friendlier one, I guess.
That's not funny.
That's not funny at all.
When you hear Mark Hamill's squealing, ow, ee. Oh, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Return of the Joker's a great movie.
Yeah, that's easily the best scene in that movie. Just that whole flashback sequence.
Brad says the TV version was the electrocution.
And that makes sense because, child murderer doesn't really sit well with TV people.
Doesn't TV well.
You quote me on that. Quote of the century. Child murder doesn't work well with TV people.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
Hey, I'm getting a lot of facts from other Tom today. Apparently, Hamill got his role for Joker because they saw him perform Amadeus on Broadway, which makes sense because I believe he's going to say he based his Joker laugh on Tom Hulse from Amadeus, another Tom.
All the Toms.
Yeah, it's almost like a common name or something. Who knew?
It's almost as common as names like Eric or William.
Well, there is 2 Bills. There's I saw the other Bill in the chat earlier. There's 2 Toms and there's 2 Erics.
There's more than 2 Toms because TJ is also a Tom.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
Joe with
anyway,
hashtag all the Toms.
hashtag all the
Name?
Toms.
Yep.
But, yeah, these Batmobiles are just so cool. Nobody seems to care about. Let's just get this out of the way because it's a Band-Aid. Batman and Robin's car is a toy. I mean, it's literally made for toys.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's just like I just put those movies out of my head. I don't even want to think about them, other than just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I
Hey,
keep them fully in my head because that, Billy Schwarzenegger was amazing. He knew what movie he was in. No one else
Yeah.
did, but he did.
yeah, you gotta just chill, man.
Yep. Chill.
Cool party.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Look at that ugly looking thing. I'm sorry, those wings are like way too close together, and it's got like the front looks like it's gonna explode. I mean, just my God.
Colors,
Yeah, it's just
bright colors, children,
weird, so weird
Yeah.
looking.
distractions.
Also,
It's got
I
stuff.
I would like to say that, while we were sort of talking about Justice League earlier, I will say I like that crab machine that they had that they climbed up in the underground portion. That the one that when Cyborg took it over and
Yeah.
they'd go faster. That thing was cool. I like that. I wish they did more with that.
Let me
did
see
go
what that's
full
called.
Yeah.
I know it had a name in the movie. I can't remember it.
Oh, it's because there's two big vehicles aside from the Batmobile, which was like decked out with like missiles and Gatling guns and everything. Which, I mean, if you're fighting parademons, that makes sense. But in terms of practicality, that's a war machine. It's the Nightcrawler vehicle.
Yes, that was it. The Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I remember now.
And the big carrier is the Flying Fox, which also looks like the Batmobile.
Yes, and then at the very end, I think he also, what I believe is going to be the Batwing at the very end, and because it had like those, it was floating and it had those sort of curved things at the very end of the movie when they were doing all the wrap ups, and he was just like on the rooftop, and then he looked around and he was getting on that plane. I think that was going to be a Batwing. I'm not entirely sure, but that thing also looked really cool.
I mean, the Batwing was in Batman vs Superman.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he killed a bunch of dudes in trucks with it, and then he goes.
Oh, that's right.
He flies up to the warehouse, and then he jumps from it, and then one of the best moments, like probably the best scene in that movie, was the warehouse scene.
Holy crap! I just watched that movie on Wednesday, and I moment.
Yeah, that's the Batwing, and it's like its cockpit and everything. It's supposed to be like the Batmobile. I mean, like the design is very similar to it, which I like that detail. I mean, also, I love that they built it. They built all these cars. Somehow they found a way. Like the Batman vs Superman Batmobile, that's a real car, and it's also very loud. Apparently, it was very loud.
It's also extremely heavy.
Yeah.
Also, Bruce Wayne's car that he picked up Barry Allen in was pretty cool. It's not a Batmobile. It's just a cool looking Mercedes.
Oh yeah, the Mercedes concept. I remember that one.
Yeah, an interesting concept.
And we're going to pull up the Batman v Superman one now.
Yeah, look at that thing.
It's ridiculously heavy and full of armory, but
I mean,
man, was it awesome.
The Batman v Superman one, it essentially just looks like the Batmobile from Arkham City or Arkham Knight, whichever one. It pretty much is just that, but in real life.
I just wanted to show its interior for a moment. This interior really is awesome.
I mean, that looks like a fighter jet.
It does.
It's got a Formula One steering wheel here. You give your defense system right there next to him. It's awesome. Although automatic gearbox, much disappoint.
What's wrong with automatic?
It's not as fast.
That's true.
Give the manuals.
Yeah. But I felt like that needed to be mentioned, just because all these cars should be mentioned.
Yes.
Go on. Talking about Batman v Superman, I did want to talk about one more thing that when Googling, Martin DB3, I believe. Yes, DB3 that he picked up. That he went to the party in the Luther party. Actually, Zack Snyder's Aston Martin. He bought it after, I think it was after Dawn of the Dead or 300. He bought one, and either 300, he was actually given a new Aston Martin by the studio. But yeah, he used his own Aston Martin in that movie. So good for him.
It's an awesome looking car.
Yeah, there seems to be a trend of me being on the show and you talking about cars used in actual movies.
It's almost like that's the point of this show.
I mean,
like
yeah.
people's actual cars used in the actual movies. This is now twice in a row that this has come up.
Yeah, I feel like we should also mention some DC vehicles in general, because I know that a lot of it's Batman centric. Because Batman doesn't have any powers, but that's what makes him. That's a part of what makes him cool.
So then I guess I should talk about the Super Cycle, aka Sphere from Young Justice.
That's one of the things. I'm
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
of two other vehicles. Or actually, no, three other vehicles. Now that I comes to mind is Black Canary's motorcycle, which is just
Right.
an awesome Harley. I'm pretty sure. The Flashmobile from Justice League. Literally,
Wait.
He has.
You're gonna need to explain this one a little bit more.
Yeah,
Flashmobile.
Yeah, Flash.
Yes.
He literally has a van that he lives in.
It's ridiculous.
Down by the river? Is it down by the river?
No, it's just in the middle of Central City, but
yeah,
or is it Keystone? I don't know because he's Wally West.
Yeah, but he has a van, and everyone's like, "What? Why do you got a van? You're the Flash. You don't need it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." He just lives.
But this is for style.
Yeah,
he said something along those lines.
And Green Arrow's car, the Aeromobile, which is just ridiculous.
Well, or if we're talking about Arrow vehicles, I like Oliver's motorcycle that he rides sometimes in Arrow. He's like, he just gets on a motorcycle and it's just the Green Arrow's motorcycle. Everybody accepts the fact that he has it.
Sorry, I just got really bored when you talked about Arrow. I started.
Hey!
It's
Only seasons
better.
3 and 4 are bad. Only the middle two seasons are bad. So far.
Yeah, season 5 is amazing.
Season 5 is great.
Season 2 is the best out of all of them, and season 6 is doing all right so far.
I mean,
I'm liking where they're going.
I mean, that Deathstroke mini arc was fantastic.
Yeah, Deathstroke. I mean, that guy.
Yeah. Man, it sucks that we probably won't get him much anymore because of other things that are happening. It's like he totally didn't show up in another movie.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Deathstroke movie directed by the guy who did The Raid, which sounds amazing, even though Tom has never seen The Raid, which is really sad. And I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen because I see him frozen on the screen, and I turn to the actual YouTube, and it's a picture of his channel icon, and I'm like looking back and forth, and I'm like, wait a second.
Should probably screen cap this.
Yeah.
Because it's just him holding his chin like this.
Yeah, he's just like. It's like because they can't see it, we can see it. Oh no! Now we got the channel icon.
Yeah, of the Lamborghini, or no, the Camaro.
Oh, now we got double the Toms in the call now.
Oh man, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, it doesn't actually show up on the YouTube. It only shows up on our end, so we're good. Because it only shows the one on YouTube.
All right, I think we're still live.
No, we're definitely still live. I saw you come back on the actual video, so you're good.
Damn, so I was trash talking Arrow all by myself.
Yeah, you were, because you're also alone on that.
Arrow sucks.
Arrow.
Okay, Stephen Amell is boring.
Arrow does not suck. I will give you that sometimes Stephen Amell is a little boring.
Except for his abs. I mean, those things are like, I hate you, Stephen Amell. I hate you.
But also, Stephen Amell in real life is a really charming and delightful person. So
Yeah. He just needs the goatee, and there we go.
yeah, he
You
does.
gotta get the goatee, bro.
It's like I think it's also side note. People were saying that they like just didn't like last week's Supergirl. I love last week's Supergirl. I would watch 10 seasons of last week's Supergirl
I haven't caught up.
it's essentially Smallville Supergirl version.
Oh,
They
sweet.
they even bring up Chloe and her wall of weird.
That's a lot weirder now. I mean, you've heard the news. Space Felicity or regular type. I knew it.
Oh, I still need to write my last review on Inhumans, guys. I'm just like it's like as I'm putting it off because I can't just bash it because I actually like these last 2 episodes.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
I do for completion's sake. I did the 6 bad episodes. Why would I not cover the 2 good ones?
because there were 6 bad episodes. It's including the pilot. That's not a good sign.
The pilot was awful, guys.
That's what I mean. Anyway, let's get back to Batman.
Yeah, let's at least get back to the DC universe.
How many?
We're talking about humans.
Yeah. Hopefully Scott Buck doesn't ever work for DC.
All right, so back to DC. Well, I think we're gonna transition a bit here. Tom and Kimber are up next, so
let's play our game.
We're gonna get back to the game.
Okay.
So, all right, Eric and Billy. The next vehicle is, and we're gonna let's include the chat here too. I'll let them get a chance to answer. So, next vehicle, 2016 Jeep Renegade, Dawn of Justice Edition.
Oh, I know for a fact that one's real.
That is real. I remember seeing commercials for it.
Yeah, I remember those commercials. That one's real.
Langley, I thought it was BS till I looked it up. Yikes.
Yeah, Langley, sorry. It broke my heart too. I'm a big Smallville guy, so it broke my heart. But
So anyway, I had to show it because yes, it is in fact a real vehicle.
It's a real thing.
I've seen it many times when I worked for FCA. What they didn't release, which is really unfortunate, is they had all the other Jeep vehicles decked out in Dawn of Justice like color schemes. It was really cool, like a Wrangler with matte gray finish, matte black Grand Cherokee. They had a lot of really cool Batman style cars, but only sold the Renegade for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. I would want to just ditch the car and go for that small bat signal that was right next to it. I mean, yeah, the bat signal is just as important as the Batmobile, much like the Batcave.
I mean, you could probably, if you wanted, get the bat signal in the back of the Jeep Renegade. It would be a lot easier to transport.
That's true.
Or mount it to the top.
Plus, you get a Jeep Renegade. So, but yeah, there is a car tie-in. It's much like Hunger Games and their delicious Subway tie-in, which that was also real.
Are you hungry for the Hunger Games? Eat a sub.
Oh god.
It's a real thing. They did it during Catching Fire. Just look at the honest trailer. It's a really terrible thing. But yeah, I can't believe that Jeep Wrangler was real.
Well, the Jeep Wrangler was not real. The Renegade was, and that's unfortunate because the Wrangler was really cool looking.
See, you should have thrown us off by talking about the Wrangler instead of the Renegade, because then we would have said it was real, but it was fake because they did one and not the other.
Langley asked the question, wasn't that the car Bruce Wayne was driving? No, Bruce Wayne was driving Zach Martin's Aston Martin.
No, he did.
Zack Snyder's, not Zach Martin. Zack Snyder's Aston Martin.
I mean, Tom actually already answered. It's the car he was driving at the beginning of the movie in the flashback.
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, when he was driving in Metropolis, talking to the guy at the top of Wayne Tower.
Oh yeah. The one with all the death and murder around it.
See, this is the part of the movie we remember.
Yeah.
Not the fact that the Batwing was in it.
No. I mean, like it ties in perfectly with
Oh,
Man of
yeah.
Steel, but it's like
Yes,
I don't want to see that again. I mean, it's like too real. You know, there's a limit. There's too real.
That was also a really stupid scene because the whole path as Bruce Wayne was driving the Jeep around littered with FCA vehicles. They paid so much money for that scene. It's insane. Literally every vehicle I've watched that scene many times. Literally every vehicle around it was made by Fiat Chrysler. It was annoying.
What a great promotional tie-in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were super excited about that, and then it came out, and they were just less excited after that.
Many people weren't excited when that movie came out, unfortunately.
I wanted that to be good.
I still
Could've been
protest
worse.
that. I still like it. I will stand by
Could've been
that.
It could have been worse.
I like parts of it. And I like parts of Suicide Squad. But on the whole, I don't like either.
Yeah, but what is the Batmobiles? We have not talked about that or cinematic because we've talked about the Adam West, the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher era. We talked about the Tumblr. Talked about Batman vs Superman. I mean, you just want to go into like comic book stuff because there's a lot of vehicles and
Oh yeah,
like
there's
DC comic stuff.
There's probably a lot more. There's probably some that Tom and Kimber want to talk about. So we should probably move on and let me do my plugs and get them in here because we can just keep talking for forever.
Indeed, was just so. Eric, go ahead and do your plugs while we're waiting for Tom to jump in. Tom and Kimber.
My plugs are probably gonna bring back Just One next week. Didn't realize that this is going to be the season finale of Fan Friction. So I'm like, oh, whoops! I said I was gonna bring it back after Fan Friction was done. So I guess that's coming back. So probably going to be next week. Watch the first 2 episodes of season 2 by next week for that show. Probably going to figure out a time at some point. Also, I've got Bunk Lock and my Sonic Adventure 2 playthroughs. I took a week off for Sonic Adventure 2. Should have an episode of Bunk Lock coming out on Monday, which is tomorrow. And real quick, there is some Pokemon Go news because I don't want to clog up the Punisher review tomorrow with it. But there's a catching contest that if worldwide we catch 3 billion Pokemon in the next week, we will get Farfetch'd for 48 hours.
That sounds a little far-fetched.
It is a little far-fetched, but I think we can handle it. If people that stopped playing the game played and caught Pokemon, we could definitely do it.
Yeah, then that would happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great having you on, Eric.
Yeah, thank you. Just talk more Batmans with other peoples now. So I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next time.
All right, yeah. Eric's always cool, especially his room, which I always make sure I point out just because I love that color scheme. And Eric's hat.
Is the famous room and the famous hats.
Yes. Now that Flash and Friends is no longer with us, RIP. We got Flashpoints. And yeah, we got Flashpoints, which is the closest thing to Flash and Friends that we're gonna get.
Watching Flash and Friends was always kind of weird, but it was very helpful in keeping up with all the things happening in the shows I didn't watch until the crossovers happened. So that was really handy.
Yeah, I'm liking the crossover for this year. Like the idea of it. Crisis on Earth X, and Earth X is a universe where the Nazis won World War II. So we get bad versions of the characters. Like we got Evil Arrow, Evil Supergirl, and Evil Flash. That is the Reverse Flash. Or he's played by Tom Cavanaugh. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. And Barry and Iris are finally getting married.
Didn't that already happen?
No. There was one false engagement, and then another and then they got engaged in the musical episode, and then Barry went into the Speed Force, became a born-again speedster, as I call it, and then, yeah. Oh, hey! We got Stephen Amell, and
Wearing an arrow hood.
Hi guys.
hi, Tom. Hi, Kimber. How are you?
Hey,
Not much. Do you have any DC vehicles that could be Batman related or something that you guys want to share? Or
well, I mean, are you talking about ones that you haven't talked about yet? Because it's getting more difficult for sure. Tom, will
I mean, like any of your favorites that you just want to talk about. We might have already went through them, but if you just want to share your love for any of
Sure.
the Batmobiles.
To me, the Tim Burton Batman movies, and I'm a huge Batman fan. I've been a Batman fan since I was a little kid. Like, my room looked like a boy's room because I had Batman crap everywhere. I had a Smilex poster. But to me, Batman is defined by the Tim Burton movies and the animated series. So definitely those two vehicles are what I'm looking at. Like, that's the Batmobile to me in my mind.
It's funny because the first Batmobile in the animated series isn't the one from the intro. It's like this other one that has this like weird
Yeah.
on the front. Yeah, that's not the original. But this is definitely the more recognized version, and it's awesome how they applied like Art Deco to a car. So I think stylistically it's really cool. I don't know realistically if it would, because it seems like it'd be really hard to handle, but I could
It's
be wrong.
beautiful to look at, though, and that's all I need.
Yeah, aesthetically it's the coolest.
And I know you like the old school, like the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong. You may have already said this. Is it a 67 Impala?
No, it's actually a 1954 Lincoln
What am I thinking?
Futura.
I know there was a version of the Batmobile that was an Impala that was a few years off of Baby, but I don't know exactly where that information came from. I will say
We saw the old Batmobile at a museum, remember?
Yeah.
That was cool.
was it a museum or it was
a museum because we couldn't get in because I didn't have my ID or whatever, but we saw it through the window.
I actually got to sit in the Batmobile,
Nice.
so that was a big moment.
That's a cool picture. That should be your profile pic.
a thumbnail.
Yeah.
As far as recently, I don't know. Is anyone reading Batman Metal?
I haven't gotten around to it.
Okay, be prepared for the coolest crap ever. So instead of just the multiverse, there is also the dark multiverse, which everything has just gone bad. Bruce Wayne, in every iteration of the dark universe, has like, in one part he kills the God of War and becomes Batman the Merciless, and like so now he has like godlike Ares abilities, and he's Batman. There's another one where it's a female version of Batman. Her husband, Sylvester Kyle, gets murdered, and because of all these metahumans, she ends up like mutating herself because she gets into a war with Atlantis, kills Mirror and like Mira. Anyway, it's really cool. The coolest one, though, maybe not the coolest one. I really like the Batman Who Laughs, but there's one called the Red Death, and Batman goes after the Flash using all of the Rogue's gear, like Captain Cold's gun and Heatwave's gun and stuff like that. And he gets in his Batmobile and he hits Barry to the Speed Force, and now there is a version of Batman who is also the Flash. They have like a split personality, but Batman's in control, and it's Batman with Flash powers. It's really cool. If you're not going to read it, look it up on YouTube. Just get somebody who's not going to yell at you the entire time to read it to you. But it's really cool.
Nice. I think this is.
And currently, the Flash is running away from like, I think 8 or 10 of the Murder Machine's like remote controlled like cars that are chasing after him under Central City. Really interesting.
It just took me a second to figure out what he means. Don't get someone who's reading it on a YouTube video that's yelling because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're talking about that
That
one guy.
Yeah. That one guy.
I kind of want to read that now. That sounds awesome. There's
I thought
flash powers.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be the dumbest thing ever, but it turns out to be super cool. But they're all in different tie-ins, so
The Batman Who Laughs one is really cool
He's
too.
the best.
You didn't talk about that a lot, but if
I
you guys
don't-
like Batman, check that out. It's weird, cool stuff going on.
I think
What was
it's the
the
coolest thing
last
that happened to Batman in comics in a while.
Huh?
What was that? What was that you were talking about?
The
Before
Batman
Batman
who,
Metal?
the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, but the run is called Batman Metal, and there's also Darkest Nights. So there's like 7 of them. There's the Merciless, the Drowned, and then they implied that there's even more Dark Universe Batmans and other things. Like there's a version of Superman who's Darkseid. He's Darkseid Superman. He's Darkseid with the cape. So I just love that. I eat parallel dimension stuff all the time. And of course, you get some really cool different designs of the Batmobiles in those other parallel universes.
Yeah, there have been some really interesting comic Batmobiles over the years, or comic Batman and Batman vehicles. I wanted to highlight one that I found. If you'll give me a moment. That was actually based off of a really cool race car.
Oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Batman Metal. There's like one where he's Doomsday and
Yep,
all that
Devastator.
stuff. That awesome like album cover art. It looks awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about with the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
I forget what actual comic this one was from, but it's essentially a Mercedes race car that they repurposed to have a sweet Batman emblem or a Batman emblem on the front and the windscreen, and they also had a really sweet TBR looking thing with bat wings on the back. A lot of the time in a lot of the early comic books, they would just kind of adapt a real car with bat things on it.
Yeah, those look like pretty practical cars, except for the wings in the back and the little bat symbol that's just like right on the forehead of the windshield.
I mean, if we're talking in purely Batmobile level practicality, sure.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
I don't think the Batmobile is supposed to be terribly practical. I think that's part of like the fantasy of it being like of the comic book world.
I also think it's interesting that we meet some characters through the Batmobile. Jason Todd, before he was Robin, he was found as a kid taking off the hubcaps of the Batmobile. So not only was he ballsy, but he was talented, and Batman took him under his wing. It didn't end great, and then restart great. But yeah, I always thought how they use the Batmobile for different like things story-wise.
yeah, I just gotta applaud you guys. I'm glad that there's somebody else that loves the Tim Burton Batmobiles because I love them. I mean, they look amazing. If I could choose one to have, it would probably be that. I mean, granted, he kills some people with
Yeah.
it in Batman Returns, but you know what? It's awesome. I mean, there's like that cool
Yeah, I
armor.
think it's cool that he really used it too in his movies. Like I remember distinctly like the scene with the Penguin like hijacking the Batmobile and like being in control of it. So like he definitely took advantage of like how much you can do with that. Like what kind of weird gadgets can we put on this and like how can we make it a part of the story?
The wheel wells that just turn into bombs and drop out, and then the car gets armored. That stuff's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was like a perfect like bridge between like Adam West Batman era into like more modern Batman because he really kept like some of the fun quirky stuff from the Adam West era and brought it into modern times. Obviously in like a different darker type setting.
and that probably worked into the casting of Michael Keaton as well, bring that sort of unhinged wackiness to the role.
Want to get nuts?
Yeah, I'm kind of famously known from Tom telling everybody that Michael Keaton is a weird Bruce Wayne to me, that he looks like he buys his jeans at Walmart, and I don't understand like how he's supposed to be playing like this rich playboy. Like, he's weird casting for me, and he definitely has a full-blown Beetlejuice moment in there. But I like him as Batman. I think they have a hard time finding somebody who's both good as Bruce Wayne and good as Batman.
I would say Affleck, as I haven't seen League.
He looks like Bruce Wayne and he looks like Batman, but
yeah.
He's really been the one that's had the balance right. It's always been one or the other. Like, Bale was a great Bruce Wayne, Keaton was a great Batman, George Clooney existed.
Yeah, George Clooney was literally just existing just because they needed a leading man, and he was popular at the time. And he's never going to stop apologizing for Batman and Robin. I feel very bad for him. It's like, no matter what you do, you got that. And he probably still gets shit about that to this day. And yeah, he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I did it because, yeah, who wouldn't want to play Batman?
To be fair,
someone cast
because of
Clooney as Batman, and everyone loses their minds.
To be fair, because of Batman and Robin, a lot of people just forget about ER and all the clunkers he's made over the years.
ER put him on the map.
I'm not saying ER was a clunker, but everyone kind of forgets about ER, and they forget about all the bad movies he made because he did Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, he did make.
I really can only think of Oh Brother Where Art Thou and those casino movies. I can't really think of other movies he's been
that
in.
you like him in.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. He was actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean,
he was good in that.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at his face.
Was it Garrett who had the Batman and Robin poster hanging up behind him?
Psychological.
Yeah, I love that, because it's like he's just this guy who knows everything about film. He's got Batman and Robin poster. I don't know where he got it from.
He does not know everything about film. Well, he didn't want to fight Lord of the Rings. He doesn't know Lord of the Rings, so yeah, that's a big.
That disappointed me today. That very much disappointed me because I love Lord of the Rings.
I'm not saying like that Garrett's not a smart kid. Like,
no. I just found.
But that is a massive like pop culture gap to have, like Lord of the Rings.
He saw it once.
When he was 8, he said 10 years ago, I died inside because I said, how old were you 10 years ago? He said, I was 8. I said, I was 21.
She was legally drinking.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But, now I'm seeing some quotes from Joe. I don't want fop, goddammit. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
So good.
I love a Brother Where Art Thou.
That's one of the staples in my household. But, yeah, I just want to know where they sell giant Batman and Robin posters, because I would totally get one.
Amazon?
I mean, yeah, probably, but...
Yes, Amazon.
Internet.
Yeah, but I don't like Amazon. They ruined a lot of my orders.
You complain about them? They usually...
Either way.
Did you guys Google Batman Hot Wheels?
I'm doing that right now.
Away.
Yeah, there are a lot of Hot Wheels. Oh yeah, no, I remember. I know something that we could talk about. The video games. The Arkham. The Arkham games. I mean, I'm glad that
the last Arkham game was just a tank simulator.
That one, what Tom said.
I'll agree.
The tank got boring after a while.
Story, though. It was weak.
Joker Tank was awesome. Joker Tank was awesome.
I wanted that to be a playable vehicle like so badly, but nope. Just that one scene where Joker murders the Riddler, Two-Face.
Spoilers.
It's been out for 2 years, Tom. I think
for people who haven't seen it.
In video game, you can find it on YouTube. And
I know, that's how I watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually played it, but yeah. You could do that.
So, all these Hot Wheels, Batman cave that I really wanted as a kid.
That
I
cave
never got
playset.
it up. Yeah,
Yeah, I admittedly don't know very much about these
I had
Hot
this
Wheels.
one with the weird spoiler. They all have weird spoilers. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. There's the there's a version of the Batmobiles, but like there's a Riddler one mobile, but Mr. Freeze's is cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
you could find them online. It's cool. I like that Hot Wheels always does those custom like comic book. Remember a Kraven the Hunter car that was cool because it had like the lion trim over the tires. Oh, what's
He's
that?
got some.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's the '66 one. I got it free when I sat in the car.
We have that also, but it is unboxed and dusty, so we will not.
Sitting up here
Oh no, it's
as
humbled.
everything crashed.
I do think it's funny that we have 2 toy cars in this entire apartment,
It's
and it's the
Baby and the
supernatural one, and it's the Batmobile.
Well, we might have 3 soon.
Yes, you are. You will have 3 soon.
It's
There
a
you go.
I don't know what
three-fer.
it is, but it's gonna be a car.
I bought them. I will be shipping them out soon.
Ooh,
Take your time. I'm the worst at that, so.
it's true. He is.
Not as bad as me, Tom. I still haven't given Ashley and Joe their DVD that I promised, which I will give it to them.
Oh yeah, was that the one you bought at Comic-Con? That was like 3 months ago.
Yep. And I have not had any time. But I will definitely do it before the year ends, for sure, because I would feel bad otherwise, or feel worse. But yeah, do you guys want to plug anything while you're here?
We have a blog that somebody just gave a glowing review of the Dark Crystal. Get it glowing because it's the, and that person's Billy. So check out his review on our blog, Odd Shaped Blog out in WordPress. You can find our stuff on our channel, Odd Shaped Channel. This week it'll change up in rotation. We won't be having Mormo Zone and Encrypted because it's Thanksgiving, but we will be having a speed recap of The Punisher, which I am on episode 9. I got, I think, 3 more left. But we're going to be doing a speed recap of that at 9 o'clock, I believe. And Tuesday, Fallout plays live.
I'm also probably going to get in touch with Nolan and record at least 1 or 2 more Space-Time Rewind recaps because we want to get the best of the 11th Doctor and the best of the 12th Doctor out of the way before the Christmas special, so look for those coming out soon.
Yeah, and Encrypted and Mormo Zone come back next week. Horror podcast and cryptozoology podcast. Those things sound like you're interested in. I don't know. Just go check us out, man.
And our handles on Twitter are at Kimberbatch_OSP.
And Odd Shape Panel.
Oh, and I said this in the chat. Benedict Cumberbatch would make the best Mr. Freeze. Fight me.
Fight me. I came up with it.
I have much to think about with that.
I already photoshopped the concept art. It looks great. Randall knows. The one here when I did that.
I think it would.
We're going to continue the game we've been playing.
What?
Oh yeah,
Since we,
do the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
My answer is
so it doesn't sound like we have much interest in next caller. So would you guys feel like running through all these questions since I very nicely made them up?
sure. Riddler.
They're not actual questions, so fret not.
I thought he was going to say I'm not actually the Riddler, but he didn't say that. Take note.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not the Riddler.
Oh,
All right, next one. 1990 Alfa Romeo Spider Graduate Edition. Tying in with, of course, the Graduate.
It's real.
that's fake.
It's fake.
That's so fake.
It's real.
Congratulations, Tom. That
It's
is 100%
real.
What? Oh,
Eric
Eric,
Mocker's back.
I'm rejoining to help with the game.
Or is it Hat Boy?
what the hell is that thing?
Or is that Mega Hat Boy?
No, it's just that I didn't turn my lights back on.
Uh-oh.
Mega Eric.
Oh, that's the car, huh?
That's it. That's the graduated car.
That thing was cute.
And
It is
the
the top of
funny
the class.
thing was, which I said the year specifically to throw everyone off, they continued making graduate edition spiders for like 20, 30 years after the movie was made.
We just need sad Affleck in that car, and then there we go. Because the Simon and Garfunkel song.
Shuggy says, well, have you ever seen Tom and the Riddler in the same room? So,
Tom, you should tweet that. And give credit to Shuggy, because that's awesome.
Okay, next one. Next one is 2015 Jeep Wrangler, the Revenant edition.
Fake.
That is a fake.
I mean, no. Why would there be a Revenant Jeep?
I'm going to say real just because everyone else is saying fake.
It
And
comes with a bear in the trunk.
I'm nonconformist.
No, it only comes with pelts.
Pearls.
Pelts.
Yeah, that's 100% fake. It would make no sense.
I got one.
Yay! I got 2.
Eric, you're doing well.
Thanks, Eric.
Or you want to say the opposite answer? I mean, I'm right.
Yep, pretty much everyone in the chat also said fake. Lots of pelts. All right, next one. 2017 Nissan Rogue, Star Wars Rogue One edition.
Real. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah, that's got to be real.
Hey.
That seems too fortuitous to not be real.
I remember that this was real. When Rogue One came out, I saw those commercials. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's super sad, but that's 100% real.
That car gives me hope. Can I say hope 20 more times?
It doesn't give me hope. I lose all hope.
Speaking of hope, I've definitely felt hope during Justice League.
Hey,
We haven't seen Justice League
Hey,
yet, so
don't even joke about that. I actually did.
Yes.
I legitimately felt hope during that movie,
Good.
which I did not in Batman v
That's
Superman or
fantastic.
Justice or Suicide Squad.
I'm wearing hope right now. So
It looks like cotton.
I'm wearing the
No, it's
appropriate shirt for a Batman discussion. So Superman for president.
I'm just wearing dark gray. I feel I'm more appropriate.
Oh no, I did this on purpose.
What's Tom saying?
yeah, I think Tom's trying to talk.
Hi, Tom.
I was just. Oh, hi, other Tom.
Cars are built on hope.
All
Tom,
right,
can I comment? Are cars in fact built on hope? You make them, so.
That's a great comment by Langley.
no, it's built on cynicism and pain.
I think that's Hollywood.
Nope, both Cars 2. Also cynicism and pain.
Well, Cars 2
Yeah,
was cynicism and pain, but
That's
Cars
what
also.
That's true. Any more, Tom?
Yes, we have a few more.
Okay.
Next one is 1977 Annie Hall edition Super Beetle.
That's gotta
That's
be real.
true.
That's gotta be real.
I'm gonna say fake.
Okay, so we got Tom with. Did you say real?
He said real. I'm gonna go fake too because I gotta not break my perfect streak of being wrong. So let's go with this.
So Billy, you said real.
Yeah.
Eric, so did you?
I said fake.
Eric said fake. Yeah, it's 100% fake.
Yes.
Annie Hall is such a weird pull that I thought it had to be true.
I would drive the Annie Hall.
I was like, it must have wood paneling.
I'm just like,
It's probably stylish.
there's no way.
I would just never drive it with Woody Allen because Woody Allen scares me.
I don't want to do anything with Woody Allen.
Yeah, he scares me.
Look,
So
he's a very
when I
nice
was-
man.
No, that's what's scary about it. It's the nice guys that you should watch out for.
Yeah. Also, tangentially, when I got off the show, I looked up the Smallville stuff, and yikes.
Yep.
I told it, doesn't it break your heart?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
like,
Hollywood.
yikes.
It broke my
But that I'm all weird.
I couldn't believe it. It was like it's not as bad as Sam Jones stuff he's done, but it's actually it's probably worse. But yeah, Pete Ross didn't do too well either. You can look that up.
I don't want to.
Did you see that episode with superpowered gum? I knew it would be all over after that.
Ugh, some of the worst product placement ever. Ugh.
Trident? Trident?
Yeah, the
Or is it
Trident Kryptonite gum. That was a low point in that series. Lower than Lana. She got really annoying.
Yeah, since like season 1.
It's like the second half of season 2. She got annoying.
Man, I need to rewatch Smallville. It's been a while.
Come to my house. I got the whole series.
But
I
yeah,
gotta
Billy,
see-
you'll definitely like last week's Supergirl.
Yeah, I'm a huge Smallville guy. I'm excited that Michael Rosenbaum is coming to St. Louis in February.
All right, next one. Now we got a quiet moment. 1996 Fargo edition Cutlass Sierra.
Yeah.
Real.
I was going to say real as well.
Now I'm the.
The cheese stands alone, Tom.
You betcha.
So Tom's the only one that says fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fake.
Totally fake.
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn
Eric,
it.
that was actually the first one you got wrong, Eric. So
That was the first one I got wrong.
That would be interesting, a Fargo car.
How far would it go, Billy?
I don't know.
sure.
As far as the Cohen's Road.
I don't know.
To go.
Do you see the line where the sky meets the sea? Does it call you?
Yes.
Because no one knows how far it goes.
I was with it, Billy.
I know.
All right.
I wanted to sing.
Billy,
we
tell
got-
me, do you bleed? You will.
I mean, a little bit in my heart. A little bit. My heart bleeds.
I would.
So
I certainly hope your heart is supplying a lot of blood, Billy.
I hope so too.
All right, next one. Billy, this one's for you. 2001 Mustang Bullet.
The 2001 Mustang Bullet. I gotta give me a second. You guys can give your thoughts real quick, but
It's real, Billy. It's real. I'm gonna say it's fake.
Are you saying it's fake, Tom?
screw
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say
I'll
it's
say-
real.
I'll side with Tom. I think it's fake.
I'm gonna side with Billy and say it's real.
Bullet Mustang, of course. 100% real.
Oh,
Yeah.
boom.
I took Eric
Your
down with
face
me.
is your-
No, I told them from the beginning.
Boom. Boom.
They actually made a few Bullet Mustangs. The last one was in 06.
I'm sure that the Mustang was super popular because of that movie. But you can check out our episode on Bullet. Oh yeah, and since Tom and Kimber and other Tom are here, Muppet movie, great movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You liked it? Because that was your first time
Loved
watching
it.
it, right?
I loved it. I couldn't stop singing, moving right along, and
So good.
Tom would be Gonzo in the back with a chicken.
And how about you, Tom? Did you watch the Jason Segel one yet?
I still haven't gotten to it. I
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so
really
good.
need to because my goal's running out. Maybe tonight. Maybe.
You know where to tweet me when you watch it.
I'm a very manly Muppet.
But guys,
All right,
Muppets
guys,
in Space is the best Muppets movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
That one actually focuses on Gonzo, so yeah.
All right, guys, last
Speaking
one.
of Gonzo. What's up?
Terrible segue.
No, see,
I
what
know.
you should have said, what should have happened is you should have said, "Speaking of Gonzo," and then ended the call.
Anyway, any more, or does anybody else want to call in too?
we have one last one.
All
But
right.
this one is the 2010 Chevrolet Camaro Transformers Edition.
That's real. It's got to be real.
Wait a
Knowing
second.
knowing Transformers,
Wait a
it's
second.
got to be real.
What brand?
It's Camaro.
I'm gonna say no.
Hold on.
Oh,
Fake.
I hope it's fake.
Hold on. I
wait a minute, but come here.
I think
Bumblebee was a Mustang. No?
no. Bumblebee was a Camaro.
Bumblebee
Was it?
Camaro.
I'm trying to remember here. 2010. 2010 would have been around Revenge of the Fallen. I'm gonna say fake. So
I
I
also
think
said fake.
No, I'm
I'm-
gonna stick with real.
Everybody says fake, but Billy?
Yeah, I've got to be different somehow.
Well, good for you, Billy. Because that is,
Ow! Oh my god, that's that's Bumblebee.
I know. I'm trying to think. I couldn't remember which movie they finally actually made Bumblebee, because I remember they made the car for the first movie, but then didn't release it, and I think that's what got in my head. I'm like, you said 2010, so 2010, so it would have been the 2009 movie, which was Revenge of the Fallen, and I was thinking, well, that movie didn't have a script, so they might as well have not actually built the car. So I had in my head, I'm like, it was probably around Dark of the Moon that they actually released that thing, but I was wrong.
They had the writers build the car, and that's what happened. They weren't in the writing room.
Well, that was because of the writer's strike. So
That was
definitely didn't
100% the writer's strike.
help. That did not help whatsoever. And
Yeah,
also
they had to build
Kurtzman.
cars for a living. You're just
Kurtzman.
reinforcing my statement.
Gah, screw you, Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman. You guys suck.
I should have got that one because my dad's got a 2012 Camaro, and I'm like, it's like he doesn't have a first model of the new Camaros, so I'm like, that should have
Yeah,
been obvious.
yeah, they actually offered that as a package for several years. It's just a silly badge package, but yeah, they offered it a lot, and it basically makes your car worthless on resale.
Unless you're a huge actual Transformers fan.
All right, so we got
There are
got our
Transformers
four-
fans out there.
There are.
Animated
I-
series.
All right, so Billy, I think you're the only one that hasn't done any plugs. So would you like to talk about what you got coming up?
Yeah, since it's basically the end of the show already. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but we've been doing it for a
Hour
while.
and a half.
Oh, damn. Sorry, Tom. I talk a lot. But you can find me on Twitter at bbusterbill. All B's are capitalized. Like Tom said, I just wrote an article for The Dark Crystal. I point out some of its flaws, and you'll just have to wait and see. But you have to watch the entire movie because I spoil the entire plot. And yeah, I got 2 articles in mind for the Odd Shaped blog. I'm usually a guest on everyone's podcast, and it's always been fun. I love supporting all you guys.
I mean, you've never been on Just Whelmed, so
That's true. I need to be on Just Whelmed. I need to watch Young Justice. But
Or you could just be in the chat making quips like I do.
yeah, that's what Zambino does. He just sits in the chat and just does whatever.
that's true. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And you just talk to me on Twitter.
All right. Any final thoughts from Tom, Kimber, Eric?
Yeah, I love Batman. This was fun. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Man,
I agree.
And man, I can't wait to have that 20-part episode about the Flashmobile. That's the best vehicle of the DC universe, the Flashmobile.
It's a real thing. Just look
It's a
it
real
up.
thing, real thing.
Almost as good
Spoiler,
as the
it's
Spider-
Spoiler, that would be just a 20-part series of me staring off into space trying to figure out why the Flash has a car.
Oh yeah, I also forgot, Tom. We got to do the Fast and the Furious. I know you hate those movies. You got to do them at some point, dude. You just got to. You can't talk about cars and movies and not talk about those movies.
Don't let him
Don't
bully you
wanna-
into it.
Yeah,
I'm asking you. I'm not saying you have to.
No, you definitely
don't
said he
wanna-
has to. You definitely said he has to.
Yeah. Okay.
Tom, if you camp on Fast and Furious, he's just gonna go harder for Lost. It's not gonna help anyone.
Lost will happen.
Lost isn't gonna happen, Bill. You gotta let that one go.
I can't.
Yeah, let
Eric's
that one go,
learned.
Billy.
Tom's learned.
I'm a smart guy. They know what's up. They got eyes.
I'm dancing.
Fine. If I'm ever in New York, I'll do the Lost episode. And
Just-
make it
just-
it'll be literally lost because nobody will see it.
You can borrow the couch.
just like Billy steals their laptops and just starts streaming. No warning. He just starts streaming and starts talking about Lost.
I am a little offended. I wouldn't steal from Tom and Kimber.
I mean, steal as in it'll probably just be sitting there and you'll turn it on.
Hijack would be the
I
word.
feel like if Billy rambled for 40 minutes about the entire series of Lost, it would be better than anything I could put up. But I would want it to make no sense.
But I also think that it would
Like,
get your
figure it
channel
out.
removed from YouTube just because you're talking about Lost.
That's literally the show Lost in a nutshell. It's just nothing makes
That's what I'm
sense.
You find out you have to watch your review backwards for it to actually make sense. A smoke monster appeared 3/4 of the way through.
It's better than you think it is. Okay, this is
I see that when we started talking about Lost and we summoned him back into the chat.
yes. We
All
did.
right, and with all that Lost talk, I think that's time to end. You
Yeah,
can find me.
after all that Lost talk, we'll end this Batman episode.
So you can.
Well, Batman's
find
currently
me-
lost in the comic books.
Yes, that is true. He is currently lost, as
Alright.
is Superman and Wonder Woman.
All right, glad we could end on a little bit of Batman. You of course can find me on Twitter at RoadRaider3. Like, subscribe, comment, all that other stuff. We'll be back on December 3rd. I'm going to keep that a little close to the chest because it's my birthday episode, so we'll have another special edition. And I'm not going to say what we're going to talk about, but I will say it might be a mediocre episode.
It's Fast and the Furious.
It's not Fast and Furious.
Is it Cars? Is it Cars?
He's riddled us again.
All right, have a good day, everyone. Thanks for calling.